You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. There's a quiet war waging inside each of us, a battle between the person we are told we should be and the raw, untamed force that whispers to us from the depths of our own potential. Modern life, with its endless comforts and gentle assurances, has often lulled us into a dangerous complacency, softening our edges, dulling our primal instincts for survival and triumph. We're taught to be polite, to be agreeable, to seek comfort, to avoid conflict at all costs. But what if the very qualities we've been conditioned to suppress are the ones we desperately need to reclaim? What if the path to true power, to profound healing, to unshakable resilience lies in shedding the gentle facade and embracing something far more ancient, far more potent? What if it's time to become a savage? Not savage in the sense of brutality or recklessness, but savage in the sense of untamed focus, relentless pursuit, and an indomitable will that refuses to be broken by circumstance. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, understood this core truth millennia ago. He knew that the only true dominion we possess is over our own minds, not the chaos of external events. And in realizing this, he promised, "You will find strength." For those of us who have stared into the abyss of trauma, who have felt the searing pain of loss, or been leveled by life's cruelest setbacks, this isn't just philosophy, it's a lifeline. It's the realization that while the world may rage outside, the inner fortress of our will remains our own to command. To become a savage is to declare war on complacency, to unleash the primal drive within that says, "I will not just survive, I will conquer. I will not just heal, I will thrive. I will reclaim every ounce of power that was stolen from me." It's a radical shift in mindset, moving from a reactive stance to an unyielding offensive, transforming weakness into an undeniable, formidable force. For too long, many of us have been conditioned to see ourselves as victims of circumstance, passively accepting the hand we've been dealt. We wait for permission, for external validation, for the stars to align before we dare to unleash our true potential. This gentle, passive approach leaves us vulnerable, easily swayed by fear, doubt, and the opinions of others. It saps our vital energy and keeps us trapped in cycles of hesitation. But the very essence of becoming a savage lies in rejecting this passivity, in recognizing that your inherent power is not something granted, but something seized. It's about cultivating an almost visceral belief in your own unshakable capacity to overcome, to adapt, to dominate your own internal landscape, regardless of the external terrain. This belief is not fragile. It is forged in the fires of adversity, hardened by every blow you've endured. Consider the extraordinary life of Harriet Tubman, a woman born into the brutal savagery of slavery. She faced unimaginable physical and psychological trauma, yet she not only escaped to freedom, but returned repeatedly, risking her life over and over again to lead hundreds of others to liberty through the Underground Railroad. Her savagery wasn't violent in the conventional sense, but it was an indomitable, relentless will, an unwavering purpose that defied every law, every physical threat, every comfort. Her belief in freedom for herself and for her people was so absolute, so primal that it transcended fear. She embodied the savage determination to reclaim what was stolen, to fight for justice with every fiber of her being. She didn't wait for permission, she acted with audacious courage. Her life demonstrates that true power is not found in privilege or comfort, but in the untamed spirit that refuses to be broken, that harnesses a single-minded focus on an unyielding mission. This is the inner savage awakening, a raw, uncompromising commitment to your own liberation, your own growth, your own profound impact on the world. It's the understanding that the gentle path often leads nowhere, while the fierce, determined path leads to an unshakable inner freedom. The pervasive noise of the modern world, the constant demand for our attention, and the relentless pressure to conform often conspire to dilute our inner strength, turning our fierce potential into scattered energy. This fragmentation blurs our clarity, obscures our true vision, and disconnects us from the very primal purpose that can drive us forward. To become a savage means to cut through this noise, to simplify your focus, to eliminate anything that does not serve your dominant aim with ruthless efficiency. It's about cultivating a laser-like intensity that ignores distractions, silences doubt, and relentlessly pursues your chosen path. Clarity doesn't come from a quiet contemplation of what might be. It comes from the fierce, focused pursuit of what must be. Your vision isn't a hazy dream. It's a vivid, burning image etched into your mind, so compelling that it commands your absolute devotion. Think of Henry Ford, a man whose ambition was as relentless as the assembly line he created. His contemporaries saw his singular vision to create an affordable automobile for the masses as madness, a financially reckless obsession. They dismissed his unconventional methods, his unwavering belief in mass production. But Ford's savagery was in his uncompromising discipline. He wasn't merely interested, he was consumed. He ruthlessly optimized every process, every worker's movement, every component, driven by an unyielding purpose to put a car in every driveway. He didn't care for comfort or external validation. He cared only for the relentless execution of his vision. This kind of discipline, born from an almost primal focus, is what forges true power. It's the consistent, often brutal choice to prioritize your dominant aim over every fleeting pleasure, every tempting distraction, every moment of self-doubt. When you commit to this level of internal savagery, your actions become automatic, precise, and profoundly effective. You stop reacting to external stimuli and start dictating your own reality. You don't try to do the work. You are the work, embodying your mission with every fiber of your being. The fear of discomfort, the lure of procrastination, the temptation of ease, these all fall away in the face of an awakened inner savage. You transform the very notion of hard work from a chore into a profound expression of your unwavering will, a sacred ritual in pursuit of your destiny. This isn't about being careless or reckless. It's about being profoundly intentional, channeling your inner fire with surgical precision, leaving no room for weakness or indecision. It's the relentless pursuit of mastery where every obstacle is not a barrier but a target, something to be dissected, understood, and ultimately conquered. The comfortable narrative that life should be gentle, that growth should be painless, leaves us vulnerable and ill-equipped for the inevitable storms. When faced with adversity, this gentle conditioning often leads to surrender, to a retreat from the very challenges that could forge our greatest strength. But the path to true resilience is rarely gentle. It is often a brutal ascent, demanding a ferocity of spirit that refuses to bend or break. To become a savage is to embrace this brutal truth, to meet pain not with avoidance but with an unblinking gaze, a determined resolve to learn, to adapt, to overcome. Resilience isn't merely bouncing back to your previous state. It's about emerging stronger, wiser, and fundamentally transformed because of the adversity. It's the muscle that develops when you push against immense resistance, the character forged in the crucible of your deepest fears. This inner savagery allows you to process trauma not by being consumed by it, but by relentlessly extracting the lessons, finding the pathways to healing, and converting your pain into power. Consider the immense internal fortitude of Abraham Lincoln, a man whose life was a relentless testament to enduring hardship. He faced personal tragedies, political failures, and the unimaginable weight of leading a nation through a civil war that nearly tore it apart. He wrestled with profound grief, betrayal, and relentless criticism. His path was not one of ease, but of brutal necessity. His savagery was in his unwavering commitment to his purpose, preserving the Union and abolishing slavery, a commitment so fierce that it transcended the personal cost. He embodied the savage will to persist, to maintain clarity amidst chaos and to find a way forward even when all seemed lost. He harnessed an inner strength that allowed him to endure what would break lesser men. This profound, almost primal belief in his mission enabled him to transform immense suffering into an enduring legacy of freedom. And in this process of relentless endurance, a profound sense of gratitude can emerge. Not gratitude for the pain itself, but gratitude for the raw, untamed strength discovered within, for the clarity forged in the crucible of despair, for the sheer stubborn capacity of the human spirit to endure, adapt, and ultimately triumph against all odds. This kind of gratitude isn't a superficial emotion, it's a deep reverence for the journey itself, a fierce appreciation for the grit and grace that carried you through the darkest valleys. It's the realization that the very intensity of your struggle, the profound difficulty of your path, makes the eventual triumph all the more meaningful, all the more impactful, transforming personal agony into a source of enduring power. The savage within you doesn't shy away from the hard truths. It leans into them, understanding that only by confronting what is difficult can you truly understand what you're capable of. The modern world, with its seductive comfort zones and its emphasis on effortless living, often undermines our natural capacity for adaptability. We become brittle, fragile, resistant to change because change inherently brings discomfort and challenge. But to become a savage is to embrace constant evolution, to become fluid and resilient in the face of chaos. It's about cultivating an internal compass so strong, a primal drive so potent that you can navigate any terrain, adjust to any shift, and innovate beyond any obstacle. When your core is unyielding, your external form can be infinitely adaptable. This fierce commitment to growth fuels a relentless drive for learning. Every setback isn't a defeat, it's a lesson, a puzzle to be solved, a new skill to acquire. Every moment of discomfort becomes a classroom, pushing you to expand your knowledge, refine your strategies, and deepen your understanding of yourself and the world. Think of Walt Disney, a man whose boundless imagination was matched only by his savage tenacity. He faced bankruptcy multiple times, dealt with dishonest partners who stole his first major character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and battled countless skeptics who called his ideas foolish. Yet he didn't crumble. His savagery was in his unyielding belief in storytelling, in animation, in creating immersive experiences, a purpose so deep it bordered on obsession. He possessed an extraordinary discipline to constantly innovate, to push technological boundaries, to demand perfection from his artists and engineers, even when it seemed impossible. When faced with the loss of Oswald, he immediately channeled his intense frustration into creating Mickey Mouse, a profound act of creative resilience born from an untamed spirit. He embodied the savage drive to transform adversity into opportunity, to turn setbacks into catalysts for even greater creations. He understood that talent was merely a starting point. It was the relentless pursuit of his vision, the unwavering commitment to his craft that truly built his empire. His life teaches us that the greatest innovations, the most enduring legacies, arise from an unblinking confrontation with immense difficulty, forcing solutions that ease would never demand. This unyielding dedication, this profound immersion in the problem and its solution, cultivates a wisdom that can only come from direct, intense, and sustained engagement with your chosen domain. When you truly internalize the need to be a savage, you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start carving them out, one arduous, intentional step at a time, one relentless push after another. Your actions become infused with a purposeful intensity, a quiet power born from the understanding that progress is always earned, never given. It's the fearless acceptance that the most beautiful flowers often grow from the harshest ground. So if you felt broken by the weight of the world, if the whispers of trauma have convinced you that joy is unattainable, Or if the path ahead seems too steep, too arduous, remember this fundamental truth: the capacity to become a savage already lives within you. Your struggles are not punishments. They are invitations to forge unbreakable strength, to discover hidden depths within yourself that only pressure can reveal. Your pain is not a permanent state. It is a temporary, albeit intense, catalyst for profound transformation, a signal that growth is imminent, that a powerful shift is taking place. Embrace the courageous mindset that understands difficulty is an inherent, essential part of the human journey, not a flaw in your design. Foster an unshakable belief in your capacity to endure and to grow through whatever challenges arise, knowing that your past experiences have already proven your resilience. Seek clarity not in avoiding the storm, but in navigating its heart, allowing the resistance to sharpen your focus and illuminate your true direction. Let your profound vision and deepest purpose be the unwavering anchors that ground you in the face of adversity, giving meaning to your efforts and turning every challenge into a stepping stone. Embrace discipline as your greatest ally, the consistent choice to lean into discomfort for the sake of greater growth, a daily commitment to your own becoming, a relentless refinement of your inner power. Practice action as your defiant response to difficulty, transforming fear into forward motion, doubt into determination, and stagnation into unstoppable momentum. Cultivate gratitude for the resilience you discover within yourself, for the wisdom gained through hardship, for the scars that tell your story of survival, and for the sheer privilege of being a warrior in your own life rather than a passive observer. Build adaptability by training your mind to embrace change, to pivot with purpose, and to innovate under pressure, making fluidity your ultimate strength. And commit to lifelong learning, recognizing that every moment of challenge is a classroom, teaching you how to become stronger, wiser, and more capable, constantly expanding your boundaries and pushing the limits of what you thought possible. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be present, to be courageous, and to be unwavering in your pursuit of growth, especially when the path demands the untamed, relentless spirit of a savage. Your greatest triumphs, your deepest healing, your most profound fulfillment await you on the other side of the struggle you're willing to embrace. It's time to stop shrinking and start roaring. The journey starts now.